Hey everyone, I am your host for today, Elisha. Thank you for tuning in to this podcast. And as we about to listen to this episode, I want you to listen to understand. And whatever it is that you've understood, I want you to apply it in your life. Shalom. Glory be to God in the highest, the Father of mercies, good, beautiful, even into your heart. God bless you abundantly, and it is well with you in Jesus' mighty name. Thank you so very much, everyone, for this good now time to listening to our podcast. And like I say all the time, it means a whole lot to me. Thank you so very much. And may the good Lord continually bless you in Jesus' wonderful name. So this is the second Friday that we didn't update the podcast. And today is Saturday now, 2 Fridays ago now. We didn't release any podcast. That's because the previous Friday, I encountered some issues. Okay? And I did all I could to, update the podcast. But I believe for some reasons, God didn't permit it to work out. Secondly, this previous Friday, my device got spoiled. So that was yesterday when I tried to update the podcast, and I realized that now my microphone is faulty. So I got it all resolved. To God be all the glory. And I realized something, that if the previous Friday I hadn't encountered that issue or those issues, and if yesterday also, which was Friday, I hadn't encountered the issue with my microphone being faulty, this particular knowledge I'm about to share with you today, I wouldn't have decided to share it this particular time. I'm aware of this knowledge, I know it, but this particular time, I wouldn't have shared it. And that's why the Bible says that all things work together for good for those who are according to His purpose. So I believe God allowed it to play out that way because He wants to deliver this message to you. So my apologies for not updating the podcast. So for that reason, you're going to be getting podcast today, Saturday, and tomorrow, Sunday. We've got to cover up those period, but didn't release any. And I'm working on updating the times that we release podcasts. All right. So let's begin. Today we're going to be focusing on a very important topic. And as a matter of fact, the world is in such a great chaos because of this particular topic. Mankind deep down is trying to look for answers based on this particular topic. There are questions, all right? So we're going to be focusing on something that is going to reveal your identity to you and help you understand who you are beyond what the society has told you. So the topic is more like questions, all right? The first one, who are you? The reason why we've got a lot of youth out there scamming and frauding people, engaging in all sort of atrocities, ruining lives out there, the reason why we've got youth doing these things is because they lack the understanding of who they are beyond what the society has told them. So I am here today in this particular masterclass because I regard this as a masterclass to reveal you to you. Beyond all of the properties, beyond the fame, beyond who they think you are, beyond what they say you are, beyond your family lineage, beyond your nationality, beyond your name. Who are you? I'm afraid you don't know. Well, I'm glad you are here right now listening and watching this masterclass. And may God bless you. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. The second question, what can you do? The reason why we've got a lot of people who are settling for less. Haven't you heard about stories of where folks who are working in a manufacturing company and the company underpays them? And these guys work like machine. They work so hard and so much that they get low pay. And these folks say, I'm satisfied with the low pay. After all, I'm getting something out of it. It's better than doing nothing. They settled for less because they don't know what they can do. Maybe I'm even speaking to one right now. Who knows? You're in a job that is killing you, but yet you cannot get out of it because you say security is more important than impact. That's because you don't know what you can do. You don't know. The world is trying to answer these questions. That's why we've got so much chaos in the world. I tell you, the prostitute on the street is simply trying to answer the question of who are you? Identity? What can you do? Purpose. The youth engaging in all sort of drugs and ruining their lives. They're simply trying to look for answers to these questions. The CEO being frustrated, treating his workers anyhow, talking to them, maltreating them, is simply trying to find answers to these questions. And the employee that is stuck in a 9-to-5 that is killing them. They don't want to get out because something is coming from it, but it's killing you at the same time. They're trying to answer these questions. The government creating policies that is causing pain and agony upon a citizen. They're also trying to answer these questions. They're trying to discover, who am I? And what can I do? The last but not the least, which is the most important. What's your destination? Where are you headed? What's your destination? Where are you headed? You see, this is about vision. This is a question of vision. There are many folks that say, oh boy, you see me, I am jack of all trades. And eventually they master nothing. Within a week now, she's got into this particular business. After some time, she closed it down, she jumped onto another. She is now running this one now. After it down, jump to another. Because she's trying to answer the question, what's my destination? When you know where you're going, you wouldn't leave from one business to another, or from one career to another, or from one thing to another. You stick to just one thing because you know, without certainty, this is where I am headed. Now, we're going to be discussing these questions in this masterclass. And I want you to pay attention because my life used to be a mess. I tell you, I'm going to be sharing my stories with you to make you understand this stuff better. My life used to be a mess. Okay, let me share a particular story with you. I became God's child about, let's say, 13 years ago. I became a born again. But 2 years ago, I became a citizen of God's country. Consciously. 2 years ago, I became a citizen of God's country. Consciously. 2 years ago, I became an ambassador of God's country. In deep understanding. Deep understanding. Now, before that time, my life used to be a mess. I believed everything the society taught me and taught me through diverse means, through my family, friends, neighbors, and spiritual leaders and all of that. Everything the society has taught me, I believed it. And one of the things that society taught me that I believed was my existence is basically to struggle, hustle, strive, work hard, and repeat. So I kept on doing these things. And if you asked me then, why was I doing the things I was doing? I would have given you a short answer. I want to make money. The society has destroyed a whole lot of lives. I tell you. Because I remember vividly folks who I could say are confident telling me, go get a job and start making money. They taught me and they told me life is all about hustling, struggling, and trying to make things happen for yourself. Life is all about getting the money, making the money, and living that life, making the money. It's all about making money, making money, making money. Then I believed this thing, even though I was a child of God. As at that time, I believed them. So everything I was doing was really from the motive I got from money. It was really money motivation. I tell you. So whatever it is that I'm going to engage in that wouldn't result in money, I reluctantly do it because that's what the society has taught me. So because of this understanding of mine, I was suffering. Suffering became a tag in my life. If you're in need of someone who is wrestling with poverty, you don't need to go far. Just look for me. I was quoting my father owns 2,000 cattle on the hill, and I couldn't even afford a fish. It was that bad. Yeah, it was that bad. On this particular day, my house rent was due. All right. Why am I sharing this stuff with you? I'm sharing this stuff with you because I want you to understand how my life was before I got these questions answered, and how my life became, and how my life is after I answer these questions. That's why I'm sharing these stories with you. All right. So my house rent was due, and the one who was in charge of getting the money from the tenants lived right next to my house. So he goes to work as early as 11 a.m. or 10 a.m., 11 a.m. I had figured that's the time he's always absent. Because whenever we're coming out of the house, he could see us directly. And I'm trying to avoid him so he wouldn't call me and embarrass me for the house rent that I haven't paid. And I couldn't even afford the house rent. Then, on a particular day, I already noticed that he was absent at home. He was going to work. Then I stepped out, rushed down to the street to go get something to eat. So while I got what I wanted to buy, and I was returning back home, that was how I had this on behind me. Guess who? It happened to be the one in charge of collecting the money from the tenant, the caretaker. Then he was pressing me on really loud. Then I looked back and I greeted him. Hi sir, how are you doing? And he said, don't greet me. What sort of nonsense is that? You haven't paid your house rent for this and this and this period of time. And then he started raising his voice in the public. Oh, I felt embarrassed. He started raising his voice, and he's got some folks in his vehicle, so who happens to be like his visitor. They don't even know me, but that day they know. That day they knew me. Guess what they knew me as? They knew me as the debtor. The guy who wouldn't pay his house rent because he couldn't afford it. He embarrassed me that day. I felt really embarrassed. And I told him, I said, I'm working on it. That I'm definitely going to pay. That he should just give me some time and help me inform the landlord that I'm definitely going to pay so soon and I'm working on it. I said, shut up. You're going to pay so soon. When is your soon? When exactly is your soon? And I kept on apologizing, and I felt embarrassed that day because it was such a public space and people were passing. And now my folks around the community already knew, okay, this guy's here to pay his house rent. Then when I got inside, guess what I did? I was just smiling and laughing. And I was saying, thank you, Jesus. Even though the society didn't teach me that, but I discovered that truth myself in the Bible, where the Bible says, count it all joy when you face diverse temptation, trials, and challenges. Count it all joy. Rejoice. Then I got inside. I was rejoicing. I'd even forgotten someone embarrassed me outside. I was rejoicing. Now, you see, to cut the long story short, I had to leave because I couldn't pay the house rent. Life was so tough for me. The struggle was really, really real. I tell you, couldn't even afford 2 square meals, not to talk of 3. I couldn't live a comfortable life. You see, everything the word said about struggling also was so evident in my life because that's basically what I was doing. I was struggling and I was hustling. Within the space of 3 years, alright, I was begging someone for help. And this person is so wealthy, you see. And she lives in the United States right there. I tell you, she's got so much with her. I went in my chat recently and I just burst in laughter because I tell you, it's funny now. But then it wasn't. 2020, I texted her. I said, could you please help me with anything at all? Just to promote this my particular business. I just want to promote this stuff and I wouldn't disturb you anymore. Just help me with something. Then she said, I would see what I can do. Then I left her for a whole year. I didn't reach out to her. I didn't disturb her. Then 2021, I reached out to her again. Then this time around, she said, I don't think I can help you. I've got tons of things on my neck. And I said, well, I give you like a year. I didn't say that about it. I said, it was like a year ago I asked you for help and you said you were going to help me and now you. And I left her again. All right. Then 2022, I reached out to her again after another year. And this time around, she sparked. You've got to leave me alone, all right? Leave me the hell alone, okay? I cannot do nothing for you, all right? And I left her alone. I felt embarrassed again. You see, it was so tough on me. And I was struggling, even though I knew God. Even though I had a relationship with God, I was still struggling. I relied on my parents to get me everything. I tell you, why was I struggling? Why was I going through all of those tough moments? Because I haven't answered the three most important questions in life. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I can do. And I don't know where I'm headed. I don't know my destination in life. So because I don't know these things now, I kept struggling, hustling, and going about. There are a lot of stories to share with you, alright? A lot of stories of mine. We're just going to take it a step after another. So we're going to begin first with understanding a very important thing. Because if you don't understand something, if you don't understand this particular thing I'm about to say now, you will not really understand this topic. It will sound hard. It will sound weird to you. Alright? So, let us talk about reality versus idea. Are you ready for this? Reality versus idea. Okay. It is possible to know the reality of a message, but miss the idea behind it. I will say that again. That's a very important statement. It is very, very possible. It is so likely to be aware, to be conscious of the reality of a particular thing or a message. But it is also very possible to miss the idea behind it. Over 8.2 billion people. And I can tell you that almost 99% of 8.2 billion humans on this planet are stuck in the reality of who they are, and they've missed the idea behind who they are. And that's why I'm doing this masterclass, for you to step out and come out of that bondage like I did. There was a particular truth that I discovered 2023 that set me free. And I discovered it the moment I entered into God's kingdom. I'm going to share with you, alright? Don't rush, just follow me. Now, let us look at reality versus idea. There is a great difference between reality and idea. Okay. Reality refers to the literal message or the literal meaning or surface truth behind the message. I would say that again. Reality refers to the literal meaning or surface truth behind the message. Let me give you an example. For instance, exercises improves health. Got it? Exercises improves health. That is reality. So true. So obvious. We cannot argue with that. But you see, if you are stuck in the reality of a thing, you are going to live a life of regrets, commotion and confusion. And folks will never trust you because your words would never be something folks can confide. If you're stuck in the reality of a thing, your words would never be something folks can confide. You would hardly have people who would truly trust, because when you say something on the short or on the long run, folks realize that this ain't the truth. Are you still with me? Reality is the literal meaning or the surface truth behind the message. Idea is way deeper, more powerful than what then is idea. Idea is the underlying principle purpose, and intent behind the message. Follow me, alright? Follow me, because this is going to reveal what you had to you. You just need to follow. Reality is the literal meaning or surface truth behind a message. Idea is the underlying purpose, underlying intent, underlying principle behind the message. For instance, when you dedicate your time and also consistently exercise, it improves health. Okay, let me give you an example. The one who's stuck in reality, don't mind those guys who say exercises are good. I work out at least once a month. Look at me, I'm still overweight. Nothing is changing, nothing at all. It's still the same way, it's still the same thing, it's still the same way. I'm getting mad, I'm mad. Oh guys, do not listen to them. Go meet some doctor and tell them to extract the fat out of your body. Exercises ain't working, it ain't improving the health, blah, 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 blah. Is he lying? Not being lying. And the one who's stuck in the idea, who's living in the idea, he was overweight before, but now he's got this fit body. And he says, exercises are great. They improve the health. Is he lying? No, he ain't lying. What's the difference? Beautiful question. This one is stuck in the reality behind exercises, and this one is so aware of the idea behind exercises. So if you really want to know the truth behind something, go after the idea and not the reality. The reality is exercises improves health. That's not a lie. That's so true. But is that a complete truth? A lot of people are stuck in the reality of why they are born, of why they exist. And they are so far from understanding the idea behind their existence. I'm here to tell you today the idea behind your existence. A lot of people are so aware of the reality of their existence. I am broke, I am poor, I am sick, I am this, I am that, I am struggling, I am hustling, that's the reality of your existence. It's so obvious because you cannot even lie to yourself. Life's tough for you, it's so obvious. But the question is, are you aware of the idea behind your existence? Now you know the reality behind your existence. What about the idea behind? Are you aware? Do you know the idea behind where you exist? That's why I'm doing this masterclass today, to reveal you to it, alright? To reveal you to it and help you live the life you were made to live and function the way you were meant to function.
Hey everyone, thank you so very much for listening to that wonderful episode by me. And do well to join our subscriber chat. We've got to stay connected. And the link to our subscriber chat will be available on the show note to this particular episode. Thank you and God bless you. Shalom.